Part 4, what's missing in the classroom? I hadn't heard of this until recently. Meraki, a Greek word, which is when you do something with soul, creativity, love and passion. That's meraki. When you're giving of yourself and leaving a piece of yourself in what you do, then you are fulfilling yourself and contributing positively. There isn't too much meraki in the classroom. What else is missing? The effort-driven reward cycle from using our hands. It's scientifically shown that if you use your hands to produce something, it gives you a nice warm glow. And a lot of people do that. Sculpt, paint, draw, play a musical instrument. You have a positive outcome. That positive outcome nourishes you and nourishes all those around you. There aren't many positive outcomes like that in the classroom because we're in the world of academia and textbook. What's missing? Also IHR, not international health regulations, but intelligence, health and resilience. Intelligence, the rounded intelligence that will get you through life. And it has at least 9 or 10 possibly prongs. Spatial, musical, emotional, intrapersonal, interpersonal, logical, etc., etc., environmental. But in school, they barely deal with 1 or 2. So you're missing 3/4 of the intelligences that you need to lead a full life. Health. School dinners. Health. Need I say more? Sedentary lifestyle. Strapped to a chair, in real terms or metaphorically, will create sedentary habits later on in life. Sedentariness is the new smoking, as they say, isn't it? Resilience. If you're not having experiences, you can't fall down. In a risk-averse environment, you can't build your resilience. Character, wisdom, common sense, moral compass, trust, faith, new human gifts and talents, key life skills. So these are some of the things that are missing in the classroom. When it comes down to it, the only knowledge that really matters is how to purify water, how to grow your own food, how to cook, how to build, and how to love. And funnily enough, we're not taught any of this in schools. And of course, we said money, finance, money management. Not that money exists, but we do need to manage something. Resources, resource management, let's call it. How to relate to self. Who am I? Did anyone find out who they were at school? How to express yourself. Where's the articulacy? When was the last time somebody convinced you by the sheer power of their logic and eloquence? Now, I've been around some very intelligent people in my time. Not one of them has ever managed to convince me of anything. How to think critically and question everything. It's not happening. How to relate to others and be of service. Be of service, not self-service, of service. They have these little subliminal things in the restaurants, self-service. And that's continuing on from the schooling model. Serve yourself, serve yourself, serve yourself. How to avoid or resolve conflict. And again, in the freedom movement, we're struggling with that. We're not avoiding conflict. Sometimes conflict can't be avoided. And when conflict is unavoidable, we're struggling to resolve it peacefully and constructively and positively and lovingly. Well, you can't be loving to the other until you're loving to yourself. But if you're in a state of post-traumatic self-loathing stress disorder, and God knows what else, that's a hard task. So we're playing catch-up, but until we actually know exactly what we're catching up from, we can't get there. How to relate to life and embrace its deeper purpose and meaning. Somebody walked out of this talk the other, and it was just a mini version of this talk. It was just a 2-hour job, well, an hour and a half. They couldn't cope with the reality of what's been done to them. Attention. Again, missing in the classroom. Who is the centre of attention in the average classroom? Teacher, obviously. What proportion of class time does the average teacher talk? Most of it. We'll give it a round figure of about 90%. Some slightly more, some slightly less. 90%. Which means that 30 children get to share 10% of airtime. And if you do the maths, that means each boy or girl gets 12 seconds per class hour to be themselves, express themselves, just enough time to be compliant and obedient. Not enough time to develop themselves in any way whatsoever. 12 seconds, I think we can agree on that. And that is a recipe for attention deficit. Tell me what you understand now by attention deficit. The deficit is the amount of time lost because the teacher has too much to do in too short a space of time and therefore must neglect the individual. There's the attention deficit. Now the system, being psychopathic, will turn it around and it will label you as having attention deficit. The attention deficit is systemic. You're not getting the attention you need. But the system, just as it doesn't call out schooling, it can't call itself out, so it calls you out. It calls you a name. You've got attention deficit disorder. No, you don't. You are being systematically downgraded by a system. And children are sensitive beings, and they will react. And that reaction will be labelled, whatever it is. If it's wild behaviour, then it's some kind of behavioural disorder. It's simply a response. It's a natural response. Children are natural beings. It's only us that are artificial. It takes a few decades to become artificial. Children haven't had time to become artificial. The attention deficit is the system's fault. It's a fault in the system. What happened to your 4 brains? Also neglected. You've got 2 in your head, left and right, 1 in your heart and 1 in your gut. And some people say every single organ has got its own brain. But we'll just use the 4 main brains. Where are these on the curriculum? Where's your heart brain? Where's your gut brain, your intuition, your inner knowing, your inner tutor, inner tuition? Where's your right brain, your creativity? NASA itself found that your right brain is sabotaged. That's the creative side. So you're being systematically dismantled when you go to school. Where's the soul? Where's the spirit? Where's divinity? Listen to your soul, says the meme. It's older than your heart and wiser than your mind. Where's the enthusiasm? It's the shades of the Meraki. Where's the hunger for learning? There is nothing sadder to my eyes than a boy or girl who's still in school, who doesn't look as though they want to learn anything. They're tired of the tyranny. All they can do is silent protest. I've been to many a class where a girl or boy has revealed that they're actually in protest. And what do I mean by that? Well, they'll put their glasses on for me, but the teacher didn't even know they wore glasses. All the teacher thought was that for some reason they don't pay attention, they can't see the board. One girl had put her glasses on for me. She'd been in the same class for 3 years and the teacher didn't even know she wore glasses. They are protesting. They are not stupid. Boys and girls are way, way sharper and quicker than we give them credit for. They know that it's all wrong, but they're stuck in there. There's another girl that I gave her a reason to count. King is worth 3 points in bridge. Said, how many points have you got if you've got 4 kings? 12. Thank you, Rachel. And the teacher goes, Rachel, I didn't know you could count. She didn't have a context in a so-called normal, which is actually abnormal, but normalised maths session. She had no reason to count. She wasn't being given a reason. She was just being told to. I gave her a reason to count. So she counted quicker than anybody else, and actually quicker than the teacher. Where's the natural law? Where are the real values? Nobody knows the law. When I went into a shop in Wales during the so-called lockdown, with the mask so-called mandate just is a contractual thing, it's nothing to do with being compulsory, but you'll see that in other talks. And he said, excuse me sir, but in Wales you have to wear a mask. And I said, sorry, I can't do that, it's against the law. I'm not going to explain that now. Do your own due diligence, find out what I mean by it's against the law. Where's the mystery? Children need mystery, that's why they go and see Harry Potter. Harry Potter's a pile of shite, but it's better than a mystery-free real life. They're being given garbage, but it's just better. It's a form of escapism. There's nothing in Harry Potter, or very little anyway. Where's the unpredictability? Children need excitement from unpredictability and spontaneity. It's drudgery. It's predictable. One of the reasons why I couldn't become or stay an office worker for very long, I lasted 3 years, because I couldn't bear the predictability. I could see the week panning out, and then the months, then the years, and I'm in my mid-20s and I can see my mid-60s. Now I'm in my mid-60s, I don't see beyond the next hour or the next few days. Life has to be unpredictable, otherwise it's not worth living. And maybe that's related to the despair and the suicidal tendency of the kids. They're being offered a life that's too safe and too predictable. and it's making them want to hop off the planet. And quite rightly, a predictable, safe life is not a life. Love and affection. Where's that in the classroom? You try that one. You'll be in prison in 3 months. For many years. Try that one. Fun and humour. Try telling an anti-woke gag in a school classroom. Yeah, they'll call the police. Where are all the young comedians? I don't like the word comedy or comedian, but the young humorists. I can't remember the last time a teenager made me laugh. Actually, no, I think I can, which is sad in itself. Because it's so rare, I think I can remember it. Bonding. Where's the bonding? Without bonding, there's no release of oxytocin, that beautiful, feel-good, yummy, yummy, cuddly hormone that gets you through the day and ultimately gets you through life. Because we're social creatures, and that's why the narrative, not the last 3 years, but the first 2 of those last 3 years, was so evil, because it was anti-bonding. It was anti-social distancing. This is what we have to do. Make sure whenever anyone uses the phrase social distancing, excuse me, what's social about distancing? Without bonding, you don't feel safe or able to express true feelings. So even if you have feelings in the classroom, you don't feel safe to express them. We've covered this. Increased mortality. They've scientifically shown, using studies, that lack of bonding does reduce life expectancy, increases mortality. And without bonding, you'll develop chronic pain or discomfort, which is dis-ease. There's a huge myth, I'll cover that in Building Resilience. There's a huge myth about disease. Disease is something that you catch. No, it's something that you build from the inside. And it's based in pain avoidance, stress, discomfort. It's got nothing to do with other people. I mean, they may be involved. They may have been the one that caused you stress. But it's to do with stress. And there's an element of toxicity and vitamin mineral deficiency. But it's got nothing to do with so-called viruses or whatever. They're just a psyop. Pain avoidance becomes our primary driving force. Giving people pain avoidance is one way to guarantee compliance.